A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 14, healing of a dropsical man on the Sabbath. Now it happened that on a Sabbath he had gone to share a meal in the house of one of the leading Pharisees, and they watched him closely. Now there in front of him was a man with dropsy, and Jesus addressed the lawyers and Pharisees with the words, "Is it permissible to cure someone on the Sabbath or not?" But they remained silent. So he took the man and cured him and sent him away. Then he said to them, "Which of you here, if his child falls into a well, or his ox, will not pull them out on the Sabbath without any hesitation?" And to this they could find no answer. On choosing places at table, he then told the guests a parable because he had noticed how they picked the places of honor. He said this: "When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take your seat in the place of honor, in case a more distinguished person than you has been invited, and the person who invited you both may come and say, 'Give up your place to this person,' and then, to your embarrassment, you will have to go and take the lowest place. No. When you are invited, make your way to the lowest place and sit there, so that when your host comes, he may say, 'My friend, move up higher.' Then everyone with you at the table will see you honored. For everyone who raises himself up will be humbled, and the one who humbles himself will be raised up." On choosing guests to be invited, then he said to his host, "When you give a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or sisters or your relations or rich neighbors, in case they invite you back and so repay you. No, when you have a party, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Then you will be blessed, for they have no means to repay you, and so you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." The invited guests who made excuses. On hearing this, one of those gathered round the table said to him, "Blessed is anyone who will share the meal in the kingdom of God." But he said to him, "There was a man who gave a great banquet, and he invited a large number of people. When the time for the banquet came, he sent his servant to say to those who had been invited, 'Come, everything is ready now.' But all alike started to make excuses. The first said, 'I have bought a piece of land and must go and see it. Please accept my apologies.' Another said, 'I have bought 5 yoke of oxen and am on my way to try them out. Please accept my apologies.' Yet another said, 'I have just got married and so am unable to come.' The servant returned and reported this to his master. Then the householder, in a rage, said to his servant, 'Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the town and bring in here the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame." The servant said, "Sir, your orders have been carried out, and there is still room." Then the master said to the servant, "Go to the open roads and the hedgerows and press people to come in, to make sure my house is full. Because I tell you, not one of those who were invited shall have a taste of my banquet." Renouncing all that one holds dear, great crowds accompanied him on his way, and he turned and spoke to them. "Anyone who comes to me without hating father, mother, wife, children, brothers, sisters, yes, and even life itself, cannot be my disciple. No one who fails to carry the cross and come after me can be my disciple. And indeed, which of you here, intending to build a tower, would not first sit down and work out the cost to see if you had enough to complete it? Otherwise, if you laid the foundation and then found yourself unable to finish the work, anyone who saw it would start making fun of you and saying, 'Here is someone who started to build and was unable to finish.' Or again, what king marching to war against another king would not first sit down and consider whether with 10,000 men he could stand up to the other, who was advancing against him with 20,000? If not, then while the other king was still a long way off, he would send envoys to negotiate peace. So in the same way, none of you can be my disciple without giving up all that you own." On loss of enthusiasm in a disciple. Salt is good, but if salt itself loses its taste, what can make it salty again? It is good for neither soil nor manure heap. It is thrown away. Anyone who has ears for listening should listen. The word of the Lord.